There comes a moment, rare, quiet, but earth-shattering, when a person looks in the mirror and refuses to lie to themselves any longer, when the masks fall, when the noise stops, when the truth, raw and blinding, steps into the light. That moment isn't loud, it's not dramatic, it's not shared on social media, but it's real, and it's the most powerful moment of your life. Because in that moment, you stop blaming the world. You stop pointing fingers at your past, your pain, your parents, your circumstances, your boss, your ex, your debt, your genetics, and you realize you have one life, and it is yours to shape or destroy. No more permission slips. No more waiting for the stars to align. No more when the time is right. The time is now, and now doesn't care about your excuses. Excuses, those clever little lies you whisper to yourself in the dark, hoping they'll protect you from failure. But they're poison, dressed as comfort, wrapped in logic, backed by evidence, but still poison. They sound like, I'm too tired. I wasn't born into the right family. I don't have the talent. I'm not ready. It's too late. But history laughs at these lies, because the truth is, no one is ready. Not Lincoln when he faced 30 years of failure before becoming one of the greatest presidents in history. Not Edison when he failed over 1,000 times before lighting up the world. Not Oprah. Not Disney, not Jobs, not Ford. They were not ready, but they were willing to burn their excuses at the altar of purpose, willing to step into the unknown with nothing but vision and guts, willing to stand alone, misunderstood, ridiculed, rejected, and still move forward, because they knew something that most people never figure out. Excuses build prisons, purpose builds empires, and make no mistake, you are building something with your life, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. Every thought, every decision, every hesitation, every moment of courage or cowardice, it's all bricks. Layer by layer, day by day, you are constructing your reality. You are either building a cage or a kingdom. The question is, which are you committed to? See, most people don't fail because of lack of opportunity. They fail because of a commitment to comfort disguised as logic. They cling to stories that justify staying small. They rehearse their pain instead of rewriting their path. They carry their wounds like armor, afraid to let go. Because if they drop the story, then what excuse would they have left? And so they sit, waiting, dreaming, complaining, watching others rise while telling themselves, must be nice. But deep down, they know they were meant for more, and so do you. You weren't born to settle. You weren't built to blend in. You weren't designed to spend your life numbed by distractions, enslaved by fear, addicted to validation, and buried by potential you never dared to tap. You were born to wake up to the fire within you, the same fire that built civilizations, the same fire that carved mountains into roads and broke chains across generations, the same fire that whispered to Mandela in a prison cell, to Helen Keller in silence, to Elon Musk in every moment of ridicule. Burn the excuses, build the life. But that's not motivational fluff. That's war, a war between who you've been and who you could become. And the battlefield, it's not out there. It's in here. It begins with mindset. Because before you take action, before you break limits, before you change the world, you must conquer your mind. Your mind is a kingdom, and either you rule it or it rules you. Thoughts are not passive, they are commands, seeds, codes, and every day you are programming your future by the quality of your thoughts. Are you planting doubt or destiny? Are you feeding fear or feeding faith? Do you speak like a victim or like a visionary? Because the difference between the weak and the great is not talent, not IQ, not luck. It is belief, what they believe about themselves when no one is watching. The average man sees obstacles as proof to quit. The exceptional man sees them as proof he's on the right path. One breaks, the other breaks through. And you can't fake this mindset. You can post quotes all day. You can repeat affirmations until your voice cracks. But if your inner world is poisoned by self-doubt, it will bleed into everything you touch. Belief isn't given. It's forged in fire, in the lonely hours, in the moments when no one claps and the world doubts you, including yourself, and you still move forward, because belief is not a feeling. It is a discipline, a decision you make to believe in the life you haven't yet seen, because you've decided it will be real. You don't wait for evidence. You become the evidence. This is what separates dreamers from builders, talkers from doers, the many from the few. So the question is not, can I have a great life? The question is, will I kill the lies that keep me from it? Because you cannot serve two masters. You cannot chase your highest calling and your old comfort zone. One must die, and it won't be easy. You will grieve the identity you've clung to. You will feel the pull of the familiar. You will battle the addiction to being understood, accepted, and liked. But freedom demands sacrifice. And you are not here to be liked. You are here to become legendary. You see, clarity is not a luxury. It is not something you figure out later. It is the sword that cuts through confusion. It is the light that burns through the fog. Without clarity, even the strongest will get lost. Without clarity, you become a slave to distraction, pulled in every direction, moving fast but going nowhere. Clarity is not something you find, it's something you forge. You don't wait for lightning, you create sparks. You ask the hard questions, not once, but every single day. What do I want? Why do I want it? Who must I become to deserve it? If your answers are vague, so will be your results. Clarity doesn't mean you know the whole path, but it means the next step is undeniable. It means you stop drifting. It means you stop waking up each day with the mind of a beggar, asking the world what you're allowed to do. Clarity is earned through self-honesty. It's the brutal, beautiful courage to strip away the masks, not the ones the world gives you, but the ones you gave yourself, because most people don't lack clarity. They just lack permission to tell themselves the truth. They want to be free, but not if it means letting go of the lie that comfort equals peace. They want purpose, but not if it demands sacrifice. They want greatness, but not if it comes with rejection. But you are not most people. You're here, you're still listening, which means somewhere inside you, the fire is still burning. The voice is still whispering, maybe faint, maybe buried, but not gone. It says you were not born to watch life pass you by. You were born to lead it, to live it, to shape it. And that begins with vision, not daydreams, not vague hopes, but a clear, specific, unapologetic vision for your life, one that makes small minds uncomfortable and average hearts nervous. A vision so powerful it makes your excuses look like insects. You don't need a 5-year plan. You need a fire that lights up your mornings. You need a picture in your mind so vivid it overrides fear. So detailed, it becomes your compass when everything else breaks. The world tells you to be realistic, but realistic built nothing worth remembering. Disney wasn't realistic. Tesla wasn't realistic. MLK didn't march for realism. Harriet Tubman didn't risk her life for realism. They had vision, and vision is rebellion in a world addicted to mediocrity. But vision without purpose is just fantasy. Purpose is what gives vision its legs. It is what turns dreams into deeds. Purpose is not a job, a title, or a resume. It is a reason deeper than logic, older than language, stronger than fear. Purpose does not ask, what do I get? It asks, what am I willing to give? When you are clear on your purpose, you stop chasing dopamine and start chasing destiny. You stop asking for shortcuts and start building strength. You don't need motivation, you become it, and when purpose burns hot enough, discipline is no longer a burden. Because now, every action is sacred. Every rep, every hour, every no to distractions, every yes to growth. It's not a chore, it's a contribution. You're not grinding for status, you're sculpting your soul. Discipline isn't punishment, it's power. The power to choose what matters over what's easy. The power to say yes to long-term impact over short-term pleasure. You don't need to feel like it. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to decide once and every day after that nothing will outrank your mission. And when you stop negotiating with your excuses, the game changes, your calendar changes, your habits change. Your circle changes, and slowly so does your reality. Because action, consistent, deliberate, soul-aligned action, is the language the universe responds to. You can think all the thoughts, you can feel all the feelings, but nothing moves until you move. Action is the cure to fear. Action is the bridge from doubt to confidence. Action is the amplifier of belief. You don't get clarity by sitting. You get it by stepping. You don't become great by waiting. You become great by working. There will be no applause in the beginning. There will be silence. There will be solitude. There will be days where nothing makes sense and no one sees what you see. But you keep showing up. You keep building. Because you are not doing this for approval. You are doing this because something inside you knows. You were born for more, and you will not die with your greatness buried inside of you. You will not go to your grave full of untold stories, unlived days, and unused power. You will not hand your future to your fears. You will build the life, and yes, it will test you. You will be stretched, broken, bent, humbled, refined. The climb will cost you old friends, old habits, old beliefs, and parts of yourself you once thought were permanent. But in that process you will rise, not in one moment of glory, but in 1,000 moments of unseen effort. In every choice to keep going, every tear you wipe in silence, every sacrifice no one sees, every doubt you override with discipline. That is how you become unstoppable. And as you rise, something unexpected happens. The pain begins to change shape. What once felt like punishment becomes purification. What once looked like chaos becomes a classroom. What once broke you becomes the foundation. Because pain, when processed through purpose, becomes power. And that's when you awaken to one of life's greatest paradoxes. Gratitude is not reserved for the easy. Gratitude is the fuel for the difficult. It's easy to be thankful when the skies are clear. But the masters, The ones who bend history, they give thanks in the storm. They say, "Thank you for the delay. It taught me patience. Thank you for the betrayal. It taught me discernment. Thank you for the failure. It taught me resilience." Gratitude isn't passive. It's not weak. It's not fluffy. It's not naive. It is a warrior's stance, a refusal to be broken, a declaration that says, nothing will be wasted. Every scar will be sacred. You don't grow when life hands you what you want. You grow when life demands more than you thought you had, and you rise to meet it. Gratitude reclaims your power. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's possible. It turns survival into strength and pressure into preparation. But life will still change, often in ways you didn't ask for, so you must become adaptable. Because the world won't bend for your comfort. The storms won't consult your plans. The terrain will shift. And if your identity is fragile, if it's tied to a single outcome or a specific path, you'll break. But when you are rooted in mission, not method, in why, not how, you become unshakable. Edison didn't cling to a single version of success. He adapted. Over 1,000 failed prototypes didn't stop him because he wasn't married to the path. He was married to the vision. And so he moved. He shifted. He experimented until he lit up the world. Adaptability is not weakness. It is the art of survival, the signature of the unstoppable. It means you pivot, not panic. You adjust, not abandon. You learn the rhythm of the battlefield and dance with it, rather than curse its chaos. Because what is destiny, if not the ability to transform breakdowns into breakthroughs? You don't have to know every answer. You just have to be willing to evolve, and that evolution demands one more ingredient, perhaps the rarest of all, resilience. Resilience is not just the ability to get back up. It's the decision to get back up when every part of you screams to stay down. It's what made Lincoln run again after every loss. It's what kept Mandela alive in a prison that tried to crush his soul. It's what took Oprah from abuse and rejection to building an empire that touched millions. Not talent, not luck, resilience. The quiet defiance that says, you can beat my body, but you will not own my spirit. You will be tested. You will question everything. There will be nights you want to quit, days when no one believes in you, not even you. There will be ridicule, isolation, delay, loss, failure, and every time you stand back up, you are telling the world, and more importantly yourself, that you are no longer controlled by comfort or applause or even outcome. You are controlled by mission. You've stopped asking, is it easy, and started asking, is it worth it? Because when you're fueled by purpose, pain becomes temporary. But regret lasts forever. There are millions of people walking this planet right now with greatness inside them, silenced by excuses, paralyzed by fear, haunted by the question, what if I had tried? But that won't be you, because you're not here to be remembered for your potential. You're here to be remembered for your execution. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are a commander of your future. And yes, there will be days when you forget, days when the world tries to make you small again. But you'll remember this fire. You'll remember who you really are beneath the noise and fear. You'll remember that your future is not written by your wounds, it's written by your will. And when life knocks, you won't shrink. You'll stand tall. You'll open the door and say, I've been waiting for you. Let's build. There comes a moment, quiet but thunderous, when the excuses die. Not because the world gave you permission. Not because your pain disappeared. Not because the path became easier. But because you decided that enough was enough. You decided that the voice in your soul matters more than the noise in the world. You decided that you will no longer live like a spectator in your own life. You burned the excuses, not tucked them away, not justified them, burned them, reduced them to ashes. Because here's the truth, and you already know this deep down, your excuses are lies dressed as logic. They are cages built from fear and disguised as caution. They are whispers from the version of you that's terrified you might actually succeed. Excuses are the drug that comforts the average and cripples the extraordinary. They sound like, I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have the time, I don't know where to start, what if I fail? But here's the question that shatters them all, what if you don't try? What if you reach the end of your life and realize the only thing standing between you and the life you were born to build was a chain of excuses you chose to protect? You are not here to protect your fears. You are here to conquer them, because the clock is not slowing down, the world is not waiting, and your calling, it's not getting quieter, it is screaming, move! Move while you still have breath. Move while your heart still beats with fire. Move before your days are just memories of what could have been. This is not about hustle. It's not about grinding yourself into exhaustion. It's about alignment. Alignment with the truth that has lived in you since the beginning, that you were not made to blend in. You were made to break through. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you act in spite of fear, every time you sacrifice comfort for purpose, you are not just building a habit. You are building a life that reflects who you really are, a life that inspires others to rise, a life that makes heaven lean in and say, that one lived fully. But understand this, greatness is not built in moments of comfort. It is forged in the fire of choice. The choice to rise when it's hard, the choice to believe when it's dark, the choice to keep walking when your legs shake and your voice trembles. And if you do this long enough, if you keep saying yes to your vision and no to your fears, you become something rare, something immortal, not because your name is in lights, but because you lived awake, and in doing so, gave others permission to do the same. You were born for this, born to overcome, born to rise, born to lead, born to build. So build it. Not tomorrow, not next year, not someday when things calm down. Now, with what you have, with where you are, with every drop of fight still left in your soul, burn the excuses and build the life. The shift from victimhood to unstoppable purposes doesn't begin when things are easy. It begins right now, in the fire, in the storm, in the silence where most give up, and you decide to rise.